I would like to commend the author of this bill for bringing this amendment to the House of Representatives, and of course, this is our legislative input to the counter-terrorism war. Mr. Speaker, I have had cause to read through the bill and listen, of course, to the arguments that are canvassed around the floor. And anything in any way which is our contribution to this counter-terrorism war is welcome in the country. However, Mr. Speaker, I have read the bill, and it says, and I quote from the compendium, that the bill benefited from global legislations on the subject matter, including from jurisdictions such as the United States, the UK, South Africa, Kenya, etc., etc. But, Mr. Speaker, the problem with this expanded definition of terrorism is the fact that even these clients have thrown up concerns about the human rights concerns contained herein. The expanded definition of terrorism says anyone, under any guise, who may be seen. Now, of course, these people have strong institutions. There's the difference between the police, the investigative arms, and very strong legal systems. But, Mr. Speaker, sir, I think, as Chairman Human Rights said, that we must incorporate the human rights angle into this bill. We must look at this bill in such a way that creates a safety net for people, so that this omnibus definition of terrorism is not such a dragnet that gathers everybody and gives them, and then they are presumed guilty until proven innocent. Mr. Speaker, my concern with this is that when they say, for instance, with regards to the bill, any act which is deliberately done with malice aforethought, and which involves or causes the manufacture, possession, acquisition, transportation, transfer or supply of weapons, including explosives, radiology or nuclear weapons, as well as research into and development without lawful authority, and the receipt, possession, use, transfer, alteration, disposal of these. Now, Mr. Speaker, as it is, the floor had cause to debate Senator Dine Malaye, for instance, and they said he was in possession of arms. So based on this, could he be called a terrorist? We must be very concerned with the broad definition that we're giving terrorism. I believe that if we expand it as much as we want to expand it, there must be safety nets that ensure that we're able to create the necessary roadblocks that do not give this omnibus carte blanche to people to name anybody under any guise a terrorist. I would say that this is a fantastic bill because it is the latest intervention, and like he said, it is one that has been used around the world. It is one that is adopted from global legislation. But I believe that we must look at the Nigerian issue, our issue of our institutions. We must find a way to look at our issues. These are international conventions, but they must have a homegrown flair. So I'm hoping that when we get to the committee stages, that there would be a clause that would highlight the human rights concerns of all the other countries where this particular convention was adopted from. Because in those countries, the next step of this convention is that they have had to add the...
Order, members.
The next amendment to this amendment in other climes where we brought this amendment from is that there's actually the third step, which looks at the human rights angle, which looks at protecting the people who come in from other countries, the aid workers, and so on and so forth. So I believe
it's too much.
look at it in an omnibus manner, bring in those amendments so that they protect the people and then mitigate the abuse of this broad definition of terrorism. Thank you.